Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel, and in this video, I want to give you guys my current take on Novavax stock, or ticker symbol NVAX. As I'm sure you assumed from the title, I am bullish on the stock, and over the course of the video, you will understand why. I have been following the sector pretty closely, and by this sector, I mean the COVID-19 vaccine sector, for a few months on the channel. You would know that if you've been keeping up, but I have been following Novavax. I've been doing stock talks on it, if you've watched those. A week ago, I think I drew this bull flag on it, and earlier this week, it actually perfectly broke out of this bull flag. This is a textbook bull flag. We will cover that when I go into the technicals a little more and dig into this chart. We will also look at a couple recent articles talking about Novavax. There's been a lot of good news coming out about these guys recently, so I want to touch on that. This is where Novavax will be in 5 years. This is a nice longer term outlook. And then very recent news and very progressive news for them. Novavax advancing COVID-19 shot recruits AstraZeneca exec as its chief medical officer. All right, so that's a huge play. We will get into this, but first I will ask you guys that if you do go on to gain value from this video, that you please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. All right, you can also check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. First link down in the description. I'll cover that a little more later, but let's get into the charts and these articles. I think it would be more appropriate to kick it off with the articles first, to establish a fundamental base. I do always like to prioritize fundamentals prior to technicals. You guys would know that. But let's cover the fundamentals first. Okay, so where will Novavax be in 5 years? So I'm not going to read this entire thing. I've highlighted the bullet points for you guys, though, because this is a pretty long article. You guys can check it out if you want. It is pretty solidly written, pretty well written, I should say, solidly written. It is well written by Taylor Carmichael from the Motley Fool. Just type this in, you'll find it. All right, so in a word, COVID-19. More than 7 million people have caught the coronavirus and more than 400,000 have died from it. Novavax, like many biotech companies, is pursuing a COVID-19 vaccine. This involvement in the ongoing health scare that has caused Wall Street to be far more optimistic about the company's future. Certainly, there's potential for Novavax to be far more valuable in 2025 than it is right now. Vaccines are historically very important. Think of dangerous diseases like polio, smallpox, or measles. These viruses have largely been eradicated in the U.S. thanks to vaccination programs. The worldwide market for vaccines was estimated at approximately $41 billion in 2019 and projected to reach $58 billion by 2024. It's hard to put a price tag on a working COVID-19 vaccine, but it's clear the whole world is desperate for one. Given how much financial damage this disease has wrought, it's not unreasonable to think that a price of a working vaccine might be $100 or more. As Novavax is talking about manufacturing 1 billion doses, it's clear the company sees a vast market opportunity ahead. So scratch the $60 billion estimates for vaccines in 2025. It's entirely possible the vaccine market will be twice that size next year. Indeed, a working COVID-19 vaccine might be worth $60 billion or more all by itself. Keep in mind, you guys, this is a very optimistic. I assume this guy's biased. He probably holds some Novavax. But I completely agree with him on these points. I think that this current pandemic and COVID altogether, the current pandemic we're living through right now is definitely putting a highlight on health overall, the importance of vaccines, and the biotech sector as a whole. Okay, another major reason is that Novavax is actually one of the stronger companies in the vaccine space. After all, its flu vaccine has proven superior to the market leader from Sanofi in multiple clinical trials. Novavax will be filing for the USDA, or U.S. Food and Drug Administration's FDA approval for that vaccine later this year. Over the next 5 years, we should see the market for vaccines dramatically increase because of COVID-19 and increased awareness of the importance of vaccination. Novavax, which should emerge as a market leader in flu vaccines, has a good chance to succeed with its COVID-19 vaccine as well. All right, so Novavax does have a very solid flu vaccine on the way, and that's what we have to remember about a lot of these, not only Novavax, but Inovio, Moderna, a lot of these companies who are developing a COVID vaccine and are really being highlighted right now for obviously working on a COVID vaccine, do have a lot of other projects in their pipeline right now. Okay, so Novavax does have a flu vaccine in its pipeline that they're really looking at pushing forward. Like I said, for elders age 65 and up. So that is very promising. Again, you guys, this is a good article. I suggest you read the whole thing if you do want to go into, if you do want to invest in this, or if you're just looking for a solid read on it. But let's move on to Novavax advancing COVID-19 shots, recruits AstraZeneca's exec as its chief medical officer. Okay, so chief medical officer in a biotech company is obviously a very substantial, a very important role. So that is big. AstraZeneca, obviously a $100 billion plus company, a huge company. So this is a big move for Novavax, which is only a $3 billion company. And again, we'll go over market cap and stuff in the charts. All right, so on the heels of some big fundraising moves, yeah, I forgot to mention that too. Again, I covered this a few times in the stock talk. I've covered this a few times over the past couple weeks. So I did go over other news, this big fundraising move being one of them in like a stock talk last week. So go check that out if you're interested, but I'm just going to focus on these articles today. On the heels of some big fundraising moves and in the hunt for a COVID-19 vaccine, Novavax is adding some big pharma experience to its executive team. Joining the company's leadership team as chief medical officer is Filip Dubovsky, an AstraZeneca veteran. Dubovsky joins Novavax directly from the British drug maker, where he served as head of clinical engagement and policy, plus as chief medical officer for clinical affairs. Before that role, he oversaw a portfolio of more than 24 malaria vaccines at the PATH Malaria Vaccine Initiative. All right, so this guy's a veteran. He's been in this game for a long time, worked with vaccines for a long time. This is a very strong acquisition to Novavax's executive team. Dubrovsky will be tasked with overseeing development of the company's COVID-19 vaccine candidates. The company in late May kicked off a phase 1 out of 2 study of the prospect and has been working through steps to scale up its manufacturing in parallel. Aside from its COVID-19 work, the company is getting ready to submit an FDA application for its flu vaccine, NanoFlu. All right, so there is a lot of bullish momentum fundamentally from Novavax. Not only technically, again, we will get into that chart about right now, but like this company has, over the past couple of weeks specifically, I'm going to be honest, I was huge on Moderna a couple of months ago, and Moderna is obviously, I'm still very bullish on Moderna as well, but Novavax was really kind of just definitely an underdog when this whole vaccine race was taking off, and it has really been impressing me with the news it's been putting out and the actual progression that they've been making in terms of developing a legitimate vaccine and releasing actual tangible news. Okay, so I'm very bullish on Novavax fundamentally, you guys. Again, you can check out these articles. This one is by Fierce Pharma. Just type this in, you'll find it if you want to read the whole thing. Okay, so those are the fundamentals covered, just a few of the fundamentals. Again, you guys can go check out the other stock talks I did if you want to hear some other Novavax news that I've covered. But let's get into these charts, okay? Because these technicals, again, I always prioritize no matter what sector I'm looking at, especially this one, to be completely honest, this sector, the biotech sector, news, in my mind, far outweighs the technicals, but I mean, the technicals on Novavax are so strong right now. Again, if you don't believe me about this bull flag, which if you're not familiar, this is probably my single favorite pattern, and on this channel, the pattern I've been just seeing most throughout this crazy volatile market is the bull flag. All right, you see this crazy move up, you see the parabolic move up, which creates like the kind of flagpole, and then you see this descending triangle, all right, which creates the flagpole flag that is a bull flag. Based on its name, I'm sure you can assume this is a traditionally bullish pattern, and when it reaches the tip of the flag, which is, this is like probably the most textbook bull flag I've ever seen play out and I've ever drawn myself. When it reaches the tip of this flag, sometimes it'll happen like around here and stuff, but this is almost like at the very tip. Could have been a little more perfect, but it's pretty damn close. It breaks out, okay? So it will, again, parabolic move up. You see a correction, it'll capitulate, go sideways for a little bit, creating this descending triangle, and then at the tip of the flag, it will break out, okay? And Novavax, we saw that this week. Novavax went from the beginning of the week from $43 up to $64. Crazy price gain. Just today, you can see here it is up 9.25%. So it's been such a strong week. Like the call options have been paying off so hard this week. I hope you guys have held Novavax. I assume if you've watching this video, you hold it at least a little bit, or but again, I wouldn't be surprised if you're learning about it from the first time, just because they've had such crazy momentum this week, okay? So what I will say is I definitely don't think it's too late. If you think you missed the boat already, I don't think it's too late, and I'll show you why, okay? So this is important. This is just covering the past couple months. I want to show you guys the 5-year time frame, okay? And what's important here to look at is the fact that Novavax this week broke past its recent high this week, okay? So the high that it set back around May 18th, May 19th, which is actually my birthday. Good birthday if you're holding holding Novavax, which I actually wasn't at the time. Wish I was. But again, it did set its highs about a month ago, just a little over a month ago, on May 19th. Just today, it broke past those highs, and I will show you on the 5-year because this is where it gets important, okay? So if we look at the 5-year on Novavax, we can see here that, again, it has this huge gap to fill from where it's at right now, $65, to its recent, again, you guys, this is all technicals. Technicals don't always play out sometimes, but a lot of times they do, okay? Especially because now traders are getting involved, all right? And when more traders get involved, the stock is more heavily reliant and more dependent on technical data. Okay, so you can see here it cleared past all areas of support and resistance from previous price action from 2016. I don't know what happened back here, to be honest, but something bad happens. But anyway, you can see here the last place that it spent a decent amount of time around was in early February of early 2016, like February and May 2016. So for a few months, it was dancing around this $90 mark. And from here, where it's at right now, where the heck is the square? I can't find the square, but if I could, you guys can see it right there, okay? So from where it's at right now, it's $64. It does have a ways to go, okay, to $85 at least, okay? So the very bottom, just keep it conservative, is at $80. I think that in the near future, again, this won't just go straight up. It might, considering how strong it is right now. Look at that volume, man. There's so much volume on Novavax right now. But again, I don't expect it to shoot straight up to $85. Although it's possible, I wouldn't expect it. It will be volatile, but I do think that this will be a pretty steady move up to $85 before we see, or at least $80, sorry. $85, $80 to $85, I do think we will see a significant move up before we see any significant correction like the one we saw in May after it made those last highs. I think it will hit at least $80 to $85 prior to seeing another significant pullback, okay? So always know this, guys, my money is on what I'm saying right now. I do have Novavax calls. I'm very bullish on Novavax, again, with all the fundamental data that we just went over. I'm super content with the Novavax position I have right now. I'm very strongly positioned. I will plug this right now if you guys want to know exactly which call options, because I do hold some stock, but I hold my primary position, the large part of my position is call options. But you get to know which stocks I have too, and how much of my stock portfolio Novavax is by checking out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter down below, every trading day, I should say. It is exactly as it states. It's a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio, all call options, all put options, all stock positions, even cryptocurrencies if you're interested in that. But nonetheless, it is a complete breakdown of my portfolio. I update that every trading day. And along with each update, I do send out an email newsletter rationalizing my thoughts, talking about the trades I made, the new trades I'm getting into, trades I'm pulling out of, and just giving you guys my reasoning and my rationale behind why I'm making the decisions I'm making, as well as just my current thoughts on the overall market, all right? It's just more real-time updates from myself, so check that out if you're interested in all. First link down in the description. I appreciate it if you do. If not, no worries at all. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are invested in Novavax. If this is the first video you've watched on Novavax, let me know what you think about it. And yeah, I do think, as always, you guys, always proceed with caution. I know I said this. I know I said and again, my money's on the fact that it is going to shoot up to $80 to $85 before pulling back. Always remember, this market throws curveballs all the time. This could absolutely not play out. It could absolutely tank. So be careful out there. Just know that this is just my opinion. Always know that, all right? This is just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below. Love learning from you guys. Let me know if there's any other exciting projects that you guys are looking into in the space or this sector. Yeah, look forward to talking to you guys. Again, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.